Your user opens your app between two subway stations, no signal. They create an order, edit a document, or send a message. 90 seconds later, the train comes back above ground, and your app either syncs everything perfectly, or it just corrupted your database. In this video, I will show you the exact offline first sync architecture that keeps data consistent when your users disappear from the network. The same pattern that scales to tens of thousands of users. And the best part, you don't need a complicated backend to make it work. Most developers think offline means just no internet. But in the real world, offline is much messier than that. It's flaky networks, requests dying halfway, your app getting killed in the background mid-sync, a user walking into a parking garage, an elevator, or a subway tunnel. There are three killers you are fighting. First, lost rights. The user saved something and it vanished. Second, duplicate records. A retry created a second order or worse, a second payment. Third, conflicting edits. Two devices changed the same row and now nobody knows which version is true. And here's the trap most devs fall into. They use a package like Connectivity Plus to check if the device is connected, but that only tells you the network interface is up. But what about being connected to a Wi-Fi with no actual internet? That still counts as connected, but your requests will still fail. So what does almost everyone write first? Something like this. Check connectivity, if connected call the API. If it fails, show a toast sync, no internet, please try again. This blocks the user, it loses their input, and it makes the app feel broken. Every time the network drops, user stares at an error message and wonders if their data is safe. The mindset shift is this: your app should not care about the network. The single source of truth is not your server, it's your local database. The UI never talks to the network directly, it only reads and writes to the local database. Reads are instant and work in airplane mode. Writes go to the local database first, and a background sync engine handles talking to the server whenever it can. This is what makes an app feel instant, and it's what lets your app survive the subway. The network becomes just a background detail, not something your user has to think about. Now the core of the system. Every mutation the user makes becomes a row in an Outbox table. This table has a few key fields: an idempotency key, the endpoint, the payload as JSON, a status, a retry count, and a created at timestamp. When the user taps save, two things happen. You write to the local database and you add a task to the Outbox. The UI updates instantly. The user sees their change immediately. They don't wait for the network. They don't see a spinner. Then in the background, a sync worker picks up pending Outbox entries in the order they were created and pushes them to the server. Only when the server confirms do you delete the row, never delete before confirmation. That's how you guarantee nothing is lost. But there's a more expensive problem than offline mode. It's retries. Here's a scenario. Your app sends a request, the network times out, so your app retries. But the server actually proceeds the first request. Now the user has two orders, or two charges, or two identical messages. The fix is one header. Every Outbox entry carries a UID called an idempotency key. You send it with every request. The server stores the keys it has already processed. If it sees the same key again, it rejects the duplicate and returns the original result. This single header is a difference between one payment and three. Don't skip it. Now let's talk about getting changes back from the server. The simplest approach is watermark sync. You store a timestamp called lastSync at on the device. Then you ask the server only for rows where updated at is newer than that watermark. You process them, update the watermark, and you are done. But there are two rules people forget. First, paginate in batches. Don't pull 10,000 rows in one request. Second, use soft deletes, tombstones. If you hard delete on the server, the deletion never propagates to offline devices. They will keep showing deleted data forever. Now the question everyone asks: what happens if two devices edit the same row? You need a resolution strategy. Here is the ladder. Level 1, last write wins. The server compares timestamps and rejects the older write with a 409 error code. The client then refetches the fresh state. Honest take, this is enough for 95% of apps. Level 2, field level merge, where you track timestamps per field instead of per row. Useful if users edit different parts of the same object. And level 3, CRDTs or manual resolution. Only go here if you are literally building a collaborative editor. Don't over-engineer, start with the last write wins. You can always clean the ladder later. And the last piece. You need to trigger the sync worker at the right moments. 3 events work well. when the app comes to the foreground, when connectivity is restored, and the periodic background task using something like Work Manager. And when a push fails, don't hammer the server. Retry with exponential backoffs plus jitter. This matters because imagine 100 offline devices coming back online at the same time. Without backoff, they all retry at once and DDoS your own backend. With backoff and jitter, the load spreads out. So, what should you actually use? For the local database, my pick for production Flutter apps is Drift. It's type-safe SQL with reactive streams, which fits perfectly with the local first pattern. Isar is also a solid option if you prefer NoSQL speed, and if you would rather buy than build, look at PowerSync or Supabase Realtime for managed sync. But for serious products where you need full control over the sync logic, building the Outbox yourself is worth it. Let's pull it all together. The UI only touches the local database. Writes land in an outbox with an idempotency key. A sync engine pushes them with retries, pulls new changes with a watermark, and resolves conflicts with last write wins. That's how an app survives the subway and scales to tens of thousands of users. If you are building an app that has to work in the real world, offline, flaky networks, real users, architecture decisions like these are where projects live or die. Idem production-grade Flutter architectures for startups across Europe and the US. If you want a second pair of eyes on your project, the link in the description lets you book a technical audit. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.